Thank you, Chairman, and thank you ever so much, John, for your question and bringing this forward. I am delighted to see the engagement of younger people in our processes. I hope you don't find this evening too staid, and I hope my answer addresses what you have asked me as directly as possible. Trees. They are a hot topic at the moment, and I think colleagues that know me in this place and other, I know some refer to me as a tree hugger, but they are an issue I very strongly defend and very strongly want to take forward. So I share your concerns here, John. But there are some complexities, as we will find out perhaps on the next question as well. It does concern me, however, if I can be honest with you, John, that you feel you have an impression as a young person of this council that perhaps we're not promoting enough, we're not doing enough, perhaps you feel we are doing the wrong thing with regard to trees, and I'm grateful to have this opportunity to set that record straight, because that simply is not the case. Now, you refer to many healthy trees. I imagine there is a reference to Lime Grove and to some other recent permissions of private landowners in this area and in the district as a whole. Where there is tree loss, and sometimes that occurs due to the life of the tree or a necessity of the application, we as a council require replacement. On the whole, we prevent tree loss. Whether it's our land, whether it's working with town and parishes, or private developers and private landowners, we are preventing the reduction of those trees. So if I can just describe to you some of the things that we do, John, because we're limited by what we can do in law. So the first thing is we are a regulatory body, as they call it. Ignore the title. We can put on trees what we call a tree preservation order, or we can set out a conservation area that protects all the trees within it. And we've done that in very many areas, and those trees, on the whole, like I say, except for issues with the health of the tree, are protected, and we recognise the need to do that and to identify those areas. As a landowner, we've done a great deal with regard to trees, not just protecting them, but in this last year alone, I was just trying to add up some of the totals, and again, pleasingly, a lot of the work we've done here, we've done with school children, but we've planted 18 large trees and 770 whips. And those are the very young trees that bear root in our parks and open spaces. And they include oak, rowan, beech, silver birch, hawthorn and field maple. So trees and hedgerows we've been planting on a scale many other councils don't, and pleasingly working with the younger generation, I suppose I'm of that age now, I should say next generation, that can work with us to take that forward. There are issues on occasion where there are conflicts with neighbours on the size of trees, the type of it. We're probably all familiar with leandii. We can't promise to protect all of those. But in terms of what we do as a regulatory body, in terms of what our colleagues do in planning policy and on the planning committee, in terms of how we work with partners, and in terms of what we do in planting, we are doing a huge amount with regard to trees and hedgerows. There are some unfortunate exceptions. I would point out that we're partnered with the RSPB over in Sherwood Forest, and we're working with them and the Woodland Trust and the Forestry Commission, again, to try and get a massive tree planting exercise going on a scale that might be recognised as a regional park. I am critical, we have been critical, and perhaps we'll consider a motion, I think, following your question, John, to the County Council, who do not permit the number of street trees in new developments or in the gardens that I think we should have so that people in new developments can enjoy them as much as the rest. And I want to see a minimum percentage of canopy from trees and from hedgerows to protect those. But just in case you think this is flim-flam, in this place and in others, the Highfields application, I think we defended in the region of 32 tree preservation orders. When there was an application to cut down trees in the site of conservation speciality on Beacon Hill that contained 48, I objected vociferously to them. Hutchinson Road, 3 new developments, all of whom have removed trees illegally, 2 of whom are now having enforcement action against them, and there's another one I'll refer to shortly with regard to the bearings. Municipal car park. The petition was brought to this body, and we arrested that development to protect those trees and see what we could do going forward. With the Environment Agency and Severn Trent Water, before they came and removed trees, we asked them to have a replanting scheme, 2 for every one they sadly had to cut down, but again work with them not to have to cut so many down. And I see Nadia's here. I also try and protect our toads as many times as I can in applications that endanger them. So you have in the leader of this council, and I think in every councillor in this room, people that share your passions for the environment, share your passions for the future. We are doing everything we can. We will do more. And if John, if you'd like to come in and meet with me, or go to any of these different sites, or perhaps come and meet Sherwood Forest, we'll do that and discuss it more. You can share your ideas with me. I'm very grateful for your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Lloyd.